What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, and I'm here to answer questions with
Gershwan.
And I don't know what that was, DJing, something like that. But anyway,
Beatboxing.
we're here for another, for the greater.
Whoa! This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewers. If you have a question for us, comment down below. Put a question before your question, because we get those questions first.
And that is what Lord Devilfish has done. His question is, what movie, book, or TV show would be improved knowing that it existed in the Warhammer 40K universe? His answer would be the Evil Dead movies, because the Necromonicon could be a chaos artifact like it is in Lovecraft. So that's a pretty cool, interesting genre, the horror. Because I think anything horror makes sense in 40K.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know, because I don't know how, like, Michael Myers and, like... But anyway, I would definitely go with Blade Runner.
Yeah.
I could see Blade Runner working really well, because that would be the... I guess I'd say...
Age of Strife? Or right before?
Right before, because, like, they've got AI, essentially.
Blade Runners?
Like, yeah, the Blade... Well, because, like, Batista, he wasn't a real human, right?
He was a
robot.
replicant.
Yeah, a replicant. Yeah, that's essentially AIs. So I think... just a little bit past that, there's probably going to be a war, and that's the whole AI like fighting against humanity that leads to the events of 40K.
Yeah, that actually would be a really good connection, because they are the Men of Iron that are trying to be destroyed, and then they don't.
Yeah, another cool one, maybe The Thing. John Carpenter's The Thing, because you have this alien life form that like basically takes in the host and morphs his body to become more killable, like more of a predator.
Mm-hmm.
So that'd be pretty cool. Like I could see that taking place like on a Space Hulk, and it's a lot more creepy and eerie.
Yeah. I also like, because I was going to say StarCraft, but I mean, I think that's just kind of like a ripoff of 40K. Mm-hmm. But I think Guillermo del Toro, whenever almost every one of his films, except for Hellboy, probably. But even Hellboy, like, he could just be a demon.
Mm-hmm.
But Pan's Labyrinth, I think, would be really good, especially if the fawn, the actual Pan, is a demon. Probably like some type of demonette trying to coax the little girl, and then like trying to break a portal into the real world. In that situation, it would be kind of like not even Terra, but just like I guess that would be considered a feudal world.
Yeah.
Well, it was like the Spanish Revolution, I think. I don't know what it would be. Maybe a feudal world.
It's been a while since I've seen Pan's Labyrinth.
Yeah, but the backdrop is like some type of Spanish like revolution or revolt or something.
There's like a war going on or some insurgencies.
Yeah. Also, there's a I'm trying to remember. There used to be, or there is a movie about the Crusades. I wish I remember the name of it. But it was basically like them fighting for Jerusalem, and I think that would be kind of cool and somehow connected to like them finding an Imperial Knight and then figuring out like, oh, we came from the galaxy and stuff like that. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, and just to put it out there, one that's pretty much 40K is Event Horizon.
Yeah.
If you're into horror, which you should be, because Halloween's in like a few weeks, definitely check it out.
Mm-hmm. Good question.
This next one's by Ty Shingleton. With the conclusion to the Psychic Awakening, and now with the dawn of 9th edition, who is the next Primarch most likely to return? My hopes are for the Lion or Fulgrim. Yeah, so everything seems to be pointing to the Lion. You've got Cypher doing some mysterious things. Supposedly, the Watchers are either going to be hunted down or they're going to be making a huge reveal. So it seems to be that the Lion would be coming next based on those events. But we say it time and time again. Every time we think, oh, this guy ain't coming or this guy is, GW flips it and they end up coming.
Yeah.
But who I want to come back, as much as I want another Demon Primarch like Fulgrim to come back, I think having 3 just pushes so much power to Chaos. But I mean, Space Marines, they're pretty strong too, with like the Primaris and all that. So I don't know. It'd be interesting to see the Khan come back, Corsaro, to see how his White Scars would do, and actually put the White Scars more in the forefront.
Yeah, not just like good on the tabletop, but like actually lore-wise.
Lore-wise, yeah.
Yeah. This next question comes from Chicken Waffles. Do you think that since the Tau advanced so much in so little time, they will get their own Men of Iron catastrophe?
Yes and no. It'd be cool to see how they act based on having like the AI revolt, seeing as how they're so like heavily based on technology, having that downfall to see how far it'll push them back would be insurmountable.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I felt like that's already been done with humanity.
Yep.
Like it's time for something new.
Yeah, and I think the big catastrophe that's going to come with the Tau, we kind of already started getting hints of it with the Startide Nexus.
Mm-hmm.
So I guarantee you the auxiliary are going to end up biting the Tau in the butt, and the Tau are going to end up becoming xenophobic because of it, which is what had already happened with with that specific group.
Yeah, the group that went into the Nexus saw the psychedelic colors and are now like terrified of any auxiliary. More specifically, Kroot, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know Kroot were like super psychically imprinted or whatever.
I don't know. I just know they went crazy and started killing Kroot.
This question comes from Ash Pickley. Do you think Imperial Guards are portrayed as better combatants in fiction than on the tabletop?
Hands down, yeah. Well, yes and no.
It depends on which story you read.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Because the stigma is, guardsmen, they only live 6 hours, they suck. But then you read these books, and it's like, these guys are pretty badass.
Yeah, because like if you read Gaunt's Ghosts, like that regiment is freaking amazing.
Yeah.
The Tanith First and Only, like they're super badass. And then you get to the tabletop, and then you field some Imperial Guard, and they get into close combat, and goodbye.
It's the whole plot armor thing. You even see it with like Star Wars.
Yeah.
Clone troopers, they suck at shooting, but then you have like the Bad Batch, or you have
Rex.
Commander Cody and Rex, and they're like, they're the exception.
That's just the way it is.
Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun.
To continue talking about the Tau, AWB asks, or AW8, do you think that the Tau were engineered? Also, do you think that engineered them, or who engineered them? Yeah, I have a theory that the Eldar engineered them because, like, I think everything was cyclical, where, like, the old ones were psychically powerful. They created a psychically powerful race to fight the non-psychically powerful Necrons, and now, because the Necrons were the big threat, and now the big threat is chaos and psychic powers, so the Eldar, which were psychically powerful, were like, well, we have to, like, counteract that, so let's create a non-psychically powerful warrior race, and they sped up the process, or they engineered the Tau. Probably wrong.
Theories. This next one is by Goferia Rebels. Hello, it's been quite a while. How have you guys been? My one question is, what one perk would you have from a Space Marine? For example, extra heart, extra lung, acid spit, etc.
Whatever gives me longevity of life. I want to live as long as a Space Marine, which is a lot.
Yeah, especially if you're not in combat.
Yeah, what about you?
I don't know, because like I'm going through it, and it's like the thing that came to mind first was if you eat something, you gain memories of it.
That'd be kind of scary.
Yeah, because it's like, I'm eating a chicken nugget, and it's like, pink slime, all the slaughterhouses and all that. I think I'd stick to the extra lung, because then maybe my asthma will go away, or maybe it'll get even worse because I have another one.
It should get better. Don't they have 2 stomachs too?
Something like that.
Or are those cows?
Maybe their Golgi bodies would be pretty cool.
Golgi bodies.
Or just more mitochondria. I mean, it is the powerhouse of the cell for a reason.
Can you imagine having the ability to spit acid? Like if somebody picks a fight with you at a bar, you just spit on them and they burn their eyes.
Is that cool though?
I mean, you would get in trouble if you can't run away, but like, how
'Cause
badass is that?
I think if you get got, you're just gonna get like experimented on and trying to like.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
But then the same can be said about you living forever, or you, well, no, you could hide eating, or having. No, yeah, because you would go to the doctor and they'll be like, "Dude, you have 2 lungs." Like how?
Yeah, that's normal. Everybody has 2 lungs.
Yeah, it'd be weird.
I think he meant 3.
Oh, 4 lungs then. Right?
Oh, well, yeah, I guess.
'Cause
The
it has to be the
iron
pair.
lung.
Yeah. Next question.
This one's by Viking 1014. What would you say are the best 5 tips on starting 40K? And you will have to make a video on it.
Really zero in on. Actually, that's a good like first.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? We'll answer it next one. Because I can give you some 5 tips. 5 tips.
Teddy D. His question is squats 2021?
No.
Nah. Watch squats right now.
Yeah. Boom! Right now.
Yeah.
Like they're being announced as we speak.
I mean, they did have a squat model for Necromunda, was it? Or was it the Blackstone Fortress?
I think it was Necromunda because it came out with the Beastmen, and the Beastman was Necromunda.
Yeah, so there is a squat model. 1. Or you can jump on over to Age of Sigmar and play squats.
Yeah, they're called Iron something or another.
Dwarfkin, something like that.
No, the Dwarfkin are the regular, just dwarf-looking dwarfs. And then the ones that look all steampunky.
Yeah, because you have the fire ones, right?
The Fire Drakes.
Yeah, Fire Drakes, I think. Is that their name?
I thought it was.
I don't know. And then you got the steampunky dwarves. With metal beards?
Metal beards. This next question comes from Ethan Paredes. Is there a sea-based chapter in Water Worlds? So, on a water planet, is there a Space Marine chapter? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The most famous one is the Emperor Spears. Spears of the Emperor. We have a 40 facts on them. They're basically like Greek-inspired or Greek-themed Space Marines. They're all about voyages. They're all about like conquering the sea because their water world is just like a bunch of islands. Really cool.
Yeah, I'm going to say it every time the water comes up, but I think 40K needs more of a focus on water battles, maybe naval battles, or just lore and like water worlds in general.
Yeah.
Because when you think 40K, you think of like a dust, desolate planet with like a huge hive cities and stuff like that.
Right. But yeah, you want like a variety.
Mm-hmm. That's all I ask. Chicken waffles. How does Potato Head Alchemist compare to the real Sound Alchemist? And where do you keep the Sound Alchemist's body? I plead the 5th.
The Sound Alchemist's body is decomposing, and I have. That's all I'm gonna say. Next question.
This one is by Chaos 16 Boy. You guys mopped the carpet? WTF?
Heck yeah, I mopped my carpet.
Which carpet you talking about?
Because you gotta get it wet.
Mm-hmm.
Next question.
Chicken waffles again. What is reality in 40K? What came first? Real space or the warp? Did the warp exist before sentient life? Or is it merely a product of it? And are demons the original inhabitants of the universe, since they resided in the warp before the old ones even showed up? Did they even need to consume mortal souls back then?
Humanity or sentient life came before demons, that's for sure. The warp and the real space, I don't think that's ever been... I've never come across even somebody questioning which one came first within the lore. But yeah, so it was the sentient old ones that used their like innate psychic abilities and their actions manifested into things in the warp. Because the warp was just basically an ocean of emotions that coalesced and formed demons based on like anger, fear, wars, battles, happiness, sadness, all that kind of stuff.
Right, but then it gets confusing because apparently the chaos gods always existed, but there's no time in the warp.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those like explain 3 dimensions to a 2-dimensional being. You can't.
Mm-hmm.
which is a crazy TikTok video that I've watched like 10 times. Which means that if there is a fourth dimensional being, we just can't conceive of it. Which is us trying to understand the immaterium, which has no time there's no time and space, but our brains, our puny human brains, evolved to interpret time and space. That is like a fundamental thing. So yeah, science.
It is.
Or
Science.
hoopla.
Or hoopla.
Mm-hmm.
Magic Eye. What would the landscape of 40K be like if Horus retreated to the Eye of Terror and the Emperor still had to be placed on the Golden Throne? So basically, if things went according to plan, somewhat. No, that's not according to plan, because Magnus was supposed to sit on the throne.
So if the Emperor did sit on the throne, he's saying?
Yeah, so he's saying, what if the Emperor still sat on the throne, but Horus managed to escape?
I think Horus would have just become like the next Abaddon, but a successful one. So it wouldn't be the 13th Black Crusade. It would just be one Black Crusade that does something like the Secretis
Maledictum.
There you go.
I said it with an accent.
The Great Rift.
Yeah, because I mean, no matter what, I still feel like the events would still happen the way they did. It's just Abaddon would be playing backseat to Horus.
Yep.
I wonder what weapons Abaddon would use then.
The sword.
Yeah, the same weapons that he had when he was a Terminator captain. Yeah.
Next question. This one comes from Ty Shingleton. With the conclusion of the Psychic Awakening and the dawn of 9th edition, who is the next Primarch most likely to return? Have we already answered this?
I think so. I don't know if it was this video or the previous one, but we've answered it. And I said Jagtai Khan. I might have said Korsaro Khan. But it's the White Scar's Primarch.
Yeah.
The Khan.
The Khan. The Great Khan. Then Timothy Armstrong, 5th time asking, do you think the Salamanders are also loved by the normal citizens because of the Salamander world having better medical care and access to the food? No, because another planet wouldn't know that.
Yeah, that's true. But in general, it's just that Salamanders have more humanity in them, more compassion. They're not just going to treat humans as like a stepping stone or as like weak, worthless creatures. They actually do care about them because they still have families. Some of them even still like somehow still keep their jobs when they were humans.
Forge people. Yeah. So
it's interesting. Why can't we all be like that?
Because we don't live on Nocturne and we don't have genetically enhanced organs that are implanted into our bodies so that we can become demigods.
Yet.
Right, yet. I bet you, like, if that would happen, though, it'd be really expensive, and only the rich would have access to become Space Marines, because that's just the way life is here.
Yeah. It'd be like that one movie with Matt Damon.
I didn't watch it. You're talking about the one where they go into
Elysium.
Yeah, with the space thing. Yeah.
Nicholas Jimenez. Would a Primarch be able to tell if a successor chapter has his gene seed?
I think so. You know how sometimes, like, on Maury, it's like, you are not the father, and he goes, I knew it! That's kind of the same thing.
Does a backflip.
Yeah. That's basically... So if the next time a Primarch comes back, the Inquisition is going to hold a Maury type of situation, where, like...
I wonder who Maury's going to be.
It'd probably be Eisenhorn. And then Jagatai Khan's just going to sit there in his chair. And it's in the... Who are some potential... or how about we'll do Vulcan? So it's like, in the case of the Black Dragons, you are not the father. Because the Black Dragons are supposedly a successor chapter of the Salamanders because of the spiky bits.
Yeah. Well, it's actually their bones that, like, jut out. Black Dragons are such a cool concept. I wish there's actual models for it instead of having to, like, convert and, like, piece together.
There's some really cool conversions.
Because I could easily see them being like having like Wolverine claws, having like demon horns and whatnot.
How is there not a third party that does that? Because
Yeah,
I know
right.
that one, is it Ravenclaw? No, Ravencrow or something like that. Kamalch? What's that?
Cromlech.
Cromlech. There you go. I'm surprised that they haven't come out with something. Yeah.
Yeah.
But those were the questions for today. If you guys have more questions for us, please comment down below. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we will talk to you later.
This has been the Sound Alchemist,
Gershwan.
and we are out.